Hey you. Yeah, you. You there. You in the computer screen. I'm talking to you. Do you use the internet? Oh wait, stupid question. Of course you do. You're on it right now to watch this. So this affects you, and this affects every single person who uses the internet because this is going to affect literally everybody. So imagine, if you will, an internet that works like the cable company does, where you have to pay for premium content if you want it to be any good, and anything you don't pay extra for is either going to be outright banned to where you can't get a hold of it, or is going to be such low quality that you're not going to want to bother with it. Now, that sounds crazy. I mean, this is 2014, and we live in America. That wouldn't happen here, right? Wrong. It's in the midst of happening right now if we don't do something to help stop it. Luckily, there's still a chance to be able to stop this before it goes through, but it's going to take the help of an awful lot of people, and we all need your help to get on board for stopping this. Now, I've been following the progress of the net neutrality issue basically ever since it came onto the scene in about 2005 or 2006 as being in danger, and started really looking into just how far-reaching the long-term consequences and implications this would be if we lose on this. And I think it's the only cause that I have ever followed for this many years, this passionately, for this long and everything. And given that it's going to literally affect anyone and everyone who uses the internet, and in every possible which way that we've all come to know and love it, and use it on a daily basis, this isn't something that we can afford to just sit back and let the big companies win out on just because they have money to buy out everything. So, what is net neutrality, you ask? Let me break it down for you. Net neutrality is basically the internet as you've always known it. It's the belief that all content created and uploaded to the internet, all websites, should be treated equally by the internet service providers. I mean, obviously, it's still dependent on server speeds of where the websites are uploaded to in the first place, but one site isn't going to load faster than another site just because this person threw more money at the internet service provider to basically put it in the fast lane. Right now, there are no fast and slow lanes, but that's about to change if net neutrality doesn't remain in place. It's been protected by the FCC for all these years, but as of January of this year, that got overturned, and there's a lot of dangers that could come with that, so we're trying to work to get that overturned again back to how it was before and re-protect it. Because if it doesn't, basically what the big companies want to do, the big cable companies like AT&T, Verizon, Comcast, all the big players, the usual suspects basically, they want to create internet fast and slow lanes. So basically, if a company's website has enough money to throw at it, they can get their website put into the fast lane, so to speak, which would be no faster than what you're already used to. The fast lane would be what current speeds are for loading the content that you currently see. However, not a whole lot of people can do that, and therefore there will be the slow lanes, which will be such a grinding halt of speed that it'll be the equivalent of what you were using when you were in the dial-up days. And for those of you who are too slow, or not too slow, too young to remember the dial-up days, it's hellish. I mean, even back in the 90s, in the 80s, I'm old, when we still used dial-up, the file sizes were much smaller, and yet it still took forever to load anything on the internet. I mean, if you wanted to so much as download one song, you'd be waiting for hours, if not days, for that one song. You'd be waiting on a page that had maybe a couple dozen pictures on it, like low-res photos. It could take up to a few hours for that to load. And that was back then. I had the misfortune a couple years ago, well, I guess a few years ago, 2010, when we moved, 2009, sorry, when we didn't have all our utilities hooked up yet, but we had phones, I decided to just try and hook up via dial-up just to get online at all and check my email, and changed all the settings to be text only and figured I can at least do this on there, right? Not so much. Not in today's internet. Today's internet, trying to work with those speeds is impossible. You can't really do it. It just does not work. So the threat that the big companies want to make slow lanes that would do this to us on purpose for no other reason than to try to force you to only use the fast lane websites is a terrifying thought, because it chokes out all of the websites that can't afford to get into the fast lane. Not to mention, then there's the competition of which cable companies are going to offer you which websites in their fast lanes, because it's not going to be straight cut across the board. Oh no. They're going to have tiered packages for, like, if you want to go on Facebook, guess what? You're going to have to get the social media package. You want to visit Vimeo or Hulu or Netflix or YouTube or any of that, you're going to have to get the video package. If you want basically anything specific, you want to shop online, be able to comparison shop from various websites, you're going to have to pay more for that. You're going to have to get the shopping package. It's ridiculous what they want to do just because they're greedy, and it's wrong. I mean, picture it this way. You already pay so and so much for your internet anyway, per month. Now, imagine paying X amount of dollars more per package on top of that, possibly per website that you want to visit. That's insane. That's wrong, and it shouldn't be like that. And this is what we're fighting against. Not to mention all the small business owners. Not only do you have to pay for the internet connection itself, not only do you have to pay for your web space, not only do you have to pay all the costs that go into your business itself, you also have to pay to try and get into the fast lane just so you can be seen at all. And it probably still won't work out, because unless people are paying more to have a package that will allow them to view your website in that fast lane, it's doomed. The whole system is seriously flawed, and for no good reason whatsoever. And this is why we need your help to lobby against this. There's a website that I have down below in the description bar. Just click that and sign it. That's all we need you to do to help stop this. Even though the big day internet slowdown happened yesterday, that's okay. Keep putting the pressure on Washington to change this, because a one-day thing isn't going to do it. We need people to keep continuously signing this if we want any change to happen at all. So please, if you value the internet that you've always used, that you've come to know and love, that you've grown attached to, that you depend on for everything that you do online, not just on your computer, but on your smartphones, on your tablets, everything. If you value that at all, please, please click the link and just sign it. Please.